Good afternoon, everybody. It is Dave coming to you from the corner of the dog yard for a Monday dog yard chat. TM, thank God, TGIM. Thank God it's Monday, right? I know that's the attitude of most of the people in this community. Not thank God it's Friday, but thank God it's Monday. We can get out there and get something done and get something accomplished. Yeah, I am that annoying of a person. I'm an early morning guy. I get up at 5 and I hit it hard. I'm a morning guy and I love Mondays. Yeah, that's probably two strikes against me for most people. I know my wife doesn't really appreciate either one. Um, she is not a morning person. So anyway, happy Monday, everybody. Let's see, do a couple things. We'll do a dog review. We'll do a little quick around a little yard review, and then we'll come right back. All right, the Kwanzaa and cherry trees have kind of reached full majestic bloom. They're at their peak. Every branch is stuffed with these blooms. Pretty cool. Looks like a botanical garden in my yard right now. Kwanzaa and cherry, and there's the red bud in full bloom. All right, let's start out with our Monday afternoon dog roundup. Sasha. Hey, Sasha. Huh? What? Who? Oh, Erica's getting jealous. She says, hey, get me in on this. And there's Finn. Finn's looking to practice his cowmanship here. Gotta find the right patch of grass. He's a picky cow. And over here we got Chance doing some digging. It's another rare moment for you. Look, he's eating the roots and the dirt. Maybe he found a mole or vole in there. Hey, dogs are wonderful creatures. Oh, wow. Hey, look how deep I can go in mine. Maybe there's a Chinaman in this hole. Look, 3 dog butts. Kind of like 3 dog night, just 3 dog butts. Good and muddy down there. Oh, Chance is going off to be Chance, I think. He's had enough socialization now. And what better place for a white lab to lie, or a white retriever, than in a mud hole? That's how they get that bright white coat, by the way. So Monday is lawn mowing day. I worked my ass off. It's all freshly mowed. I used to spend 6 hours a week, sometimes twice a week, to get this stuff mowed. And I mowed it for about 10 years. You know, I've been here 30 years now. So for those of you who have rudimentary math challenge issues, that means I've had someone else mow my lawn for 20 years now. They do such a good job. Anyway, Monday's lawnmower day. It looked great, so I thought I'd show it to you. And admit that I've yet again outsourced another service. Dogs don't care. So you can see we keep it pretty busy around here. Monday's lawn mowing day and Thursday's house cleaning day. So it's a pretty busy schedule around here. Hey, let's see. It's coming up on 4 o'clock on Monday now. It is 70 degrees out here. My phone says it's a 7 or 8 mile an hour breeze, but I don't feel any breeze. It's absolutely perfect out right now. Suppose we got a big storm coming in tonight at 11. I'm fine with 11 p.m. storms. Everyone's in bed. All the horses are in bed. The dogs are in bed. So if it wants to storm at 11 o'clock tonight, so be it. And lesson learned from a few nights ago. Got my little friend with me, and he has a little friend with me. So that won't be making that mistake ever again. Both of these are Maryland approved, by the way. 7-rounder. So if I ever fire 14 rounds at you and you're still breathing, you can fire back. I'll be out. Now, if I miss you 14 times, I deserve to be done with. But anyway, Every time, every day, always with me. Even out here in the dog yard now. So, lesson learned. Caught with my pants down is what I was telling you guys on in the comments. Won't happen again. What are we smoking today? We're smoking the Oliva Series V Milano. Firmly in my top 10, probably in my top 3 or 4 sticks. Um, yeah, Oliva Series V Milano. Fabulous stick. Punch cut as always. Actually, that one went perfectly. Lit really well. I scorched it a little bit. These little Calibri lighters are pretty powerful. They're hot well beyond where the flame is. Definitely gonna enjoy this today. So today is essentially my last day as a bachelor. Amory gets in around 3 o'clock tomorrow. Had a good day though. Had a great Monday. Got up right on time. Got all the house chores done. Got over to the paddock an hour early because Amory's not here. So by 7:30, when I normally sit down and have coffee with her, I was ready. So I went out the door with Sasha and we got over there and kind of got right on the day trading and got my plan ready and saw what the market was doing overnight. Hit my goal day trading today and shut it down. Hit my goal, shut it down. And we're going to have an investment school item surrounding that later in the video. Let's see, I signed up a new CEO school student, client. I don't even know what to call them. There's no engagement letter, there's no account plan, there's no invoicing, there's no payment. So it strikes me as that I shouldn't call them clients. Anyway, had my first call with her today. It was an hour long. I think we for the first call we made a lot of progress. Got her physically honed down to 3 goals for the next few weeks, not 50 goals. And we'll have a CEO school item about that later today too. So a little bit later in the video, we'll have 2 items, one for investment school and one for CEO school. Cigar's burning great, by the way. Man, dogs are all relaxed. That's the most relaxed I ever think I've seen her out here. I think she had a rough day at the paddock or something. Let's see. There's Finn chilling around back. And even Chance has decided to stay close. Still ignoring us with his back turned to us, but he and Echo are kind of hanging out together. He's probably best buds with Echo of all of them. At least she offends him the least. How about that? So I took lunch over to Mom's today, since I'm responsible for Mom for the week. So I try to get over there almost every day. I don't go over on weekends because the younger daughter is there. That just isn't beneficial to anyone. So I'll just stay away. But anyway, took sandwiches over. We had a great lunch together, and then it was pretty funny. Hey, this light bulb burned out. Hey, sure, Mom, I'll get up there. And, hey, that clock battery died a while ago. So yeah, sure, I get up there and pull it down. It's just funny when anyone else is there, she won't do that. But what if it's just her and me? She'll admit she's got some things she needs done. So it's kind of good for me to get over there all by myself sometimes. Anyway, at 88 and struggling and pretty frail, I don't mind doing shit like that for her. And she's been good to us since we moved here in November '91, and she's been good to me ever since. So I can take care of her now. This just cracks me up. She won't ask for help in front of anyone. She only asks me, and only when no one else can hear. Makes me laugh. But anyway, it feels good to help her out. So tomorrow, Sasha's got a vet appointment. It's her 1-year booster program. So rabies, distemper. I can't remember the third one. Anyway, I know she's getting rabies for sure. I think the other 2 are done. And that's all we do. We just do those 3. Parvo, distemper, parvo, and rabies. Anyway, she's it's been a year since she was in, so it's time to follow up. She'll get, I believe, just her rabies 1-year booster. We're not big vet people. We go there when we need to. We're also not big dog medicine people. I mean, obviously it's an emergency or an urgent situation we do, but all this stuff, heartworm, we don't do anymore. Flea and tick, that vector stuff you spread down the back, we don't do that stuff anymore. We give them vitamins, and we give the older ones joint relief. In fact, I just bought some CBD oil for Chance, so we'll see how that works. But we don't do any of that other stuff. Yeah, we've had dogs since '92, and we did the first couple of dogs. We did everything the vet said, and they died early. And the next couple, we had little kids, so they were essentially outdoor dogs, and we did nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. And they both lived to 14. And so we took that lesson, so we don't do any of that stuff. In fact, we vaccine the minimum amount, the absolute required. And got 4 healthy dogs doing it that way. I mean, Chance is 11. He's doing fine. His hips are a little frail, but not because we didn't give him heartworm medicine. Yeah. So anyway, we love our dogs, but we're minimal on medicine. We're minimal on medicine with humans too, by the way. All right, let's do a CEO school item. We haven't done a true CEO school item in a while, but the call today really woke me up to how most people think of businesses. So I just want to go over a couple things. So the item is, when you own a business, when you run a company, it's about the money. Period. Does it make money? Does it throw off a profit? If it doesn't, you're going to go out of business, and all your other objectives don't matter. You can have objectives like you want to make the world a better place, or you want to make a product to help out somebody's life. Those are all great things, and they should be part of why you do something. But if you don't make money, you can't achieve any of those other goals. So first and foremost, business is about money. Money is the blood of the company, as my teacher taught me, Keith Cunningham. You can be the brains and you can be the heart, but money is the blood, and without it, you die. And so many people love what they're doing and forget about the business, and that was what was going on with the company I talked to today. She loved dealing with customers and all that, and it's a sister-brother operation that they inherited, and he's a sharpener, and a blade sharpener, and he loves to sharpen blades, and they're not hardly making any money. It's throwing off almost no profit, and they're both trying to live off this company. And after doing it now for at least 3 years, and I think longer than that actually, they've gotten frustrated, like, what can we do? And so that goes to rule number 1. These people are doing what they love to do every day, and not tending to the business of the business. And you have to tend to the business of the business. So what does that mean? Tend to the business of the business. It means doing your bookkeeping so you can run monthly reports and look at your sales, your gross sales, your revenue, your expenses, and your net income or your profit. Because if your revenue is going up, your sales are going up, but your profit isn't, you have a problem. You have a leak somewhere. Or if your sales or revenue are staying the same, but your profit's going down, that's a problem too. you have a leak. But if you don't pay attention to it, you don't notice it. You just know you just start noticing months or a year later, you're making less money than you used to. You can't pay yourself what you could last year. And that's a horrible time to figure that out. So running a good financial system, running good financial reports, reviewing monthlies and quarterlies and annual reports, so you get a sense of how the blood flow in your company is going is absolutely critical. Anyway, these people running this company are super nice and super sweet, and that is a negative when you're the CEO. Yep, I said it. Hey, I'm channeling Greg. I said it. If you're a nice person, you probably don't belong in the CEO chair unless you can channel yourself into two different beings. When I had to make the same transition, I had to transition from Uncle Dave to CEO Dave as my company grew. And that's one of the hardest things you can ask a person to do, is change the kind of person they are, the kind of things that matter to somebody, the kind of things that are a priority to you on a daily basis. To make those kind of changes is very, very hard because they're inside you. So I've done it. I had to transition to, I'm not always the asshole you see on the video. I used to be a kinder, gentler person. And my company started leaking, and I had to turn into CEO, and I had to become absolutely razor sharp and a complete pit bull on finances. I had to tell people to stop, like all my line managers. They had to meet with me once a month individually to go over their reports, and the reports were generated by my finance director. And they had input to them, they go through them and correct any errors, but then they had to present the results those reports showed. Revenue, expenses, margin. They couldn't tell me about how they felt about things or their problems or issues. That meeting once a month was about the money. And that's what I was teaching today on this class, on the call. Probably for the rest of this year, these two people have one priority. It's the money. You have to make more money. And so you got to change your daily priorities. You got to move into marketing, SEO, search engine optimization. They have a really nice website, by the way, but no one's going there. Less than 10% of their sales are coming from online. In today's world, that's insane. They have a sign out on the highway, but it's 20, 30 years old. It's way out of date, so they've got to get that fixed. They need to start some basic marketing on Amazon, establish some basic presence on social media. They got to market and sell. That needs to be their number one priority. Boy, was that a shock to them. They completely agree with that, but they just need someone to tell it to them because they just were not going to get there on their own. So when you have a money problem, meaning you're not throwing off enough net income or profit to pay yourself, that's a money problem. You solve money problems with money actions. You can't fix a money problem by sharpening knives sharper. You can't solve a money problem by continuing to interact with your current clients. You have to go get more clients. You have to get more sales. And you need to make more money with each sale. Money, money, money. And boy, is that an unpopular discussion in today's world or what? So probably for the last 20, 30 years, since the 80s, we've become a society that despises success, wealth, profit. We destroy those who talk about it in a positive fashion, whether it be on social media or in the news or movies or TV shows. To strive to make profit is evil. To be wealthy is wrong, immoral. And so it's hard to convert people, especially in CEO seats, to think, your first priority is to make sure the blood flow of your company is there, that you're making money, sufficient money at a production level, at a repeatable production level with a sufficient margin so you throw off profit so you can do all the other things you want. And they have the company today had a great list of things they wanted to do. They wanted to provide better knives to more restaurants. They wanted to pay employees better. They wanted give employees more hours. They wanted to hire more people to give people jobs. And that's fantastic, right? And those are the kind of goals that we as a society embrace. We don't realize that all those goals are secondary and rest upon the primary goal of making money. And nobody wants to talk about that. And you get totally blown up and vindicated when you do. But CEO school item number 1 for tonight is, if you own a business or run a company, money is your first priority. I'm not saying you don't have other priorities, so don't tomahawk me for that. It is your first priority, or you will not be able to achieve the other priorities. It's funny because I advise pipe makers and knife makers, and both those communities love shows. And most people who go to shows lose money. So if you sell 10 pipes at $200 each, you grossed $2,000, but you didn't net $2,000. Let's say the pipes cost you $50 each. You grossed $1,500, but you spent $300 in gas and $400 in hotel. And guess what? You're upside down pretty soon. So you actually paid, your company paid for the privilege of going to the show. And so my knife guys that I advise, same thing. They loved going to shows, but they ended up paying to go to every show they went to. And in their mind, they were making revenue when they went. And so that's the other wake-up calls. When you like to do things, you've got to calculate the cost of doing it and the profit you made at that show or at that event or whatever it is you call it. And when you get home, you have to assess, did you make money at that activity, or would you be better off to keep selling online or through your dealer network or whatever, or your brick and mortar store, because you actually make profit when you do that. These are all very unpopular recommendations and conversations I'm having them. All right, we'll talk investing school items now. It's beware of the greed. Fear and greed are the two emotions that drive most business decisions, and they drive almost all investment decisions. So we'll talk about greed. So I mentioned earlier in the video that I hit my goal. So I've told you many times in prior videos, my goal is $1,000 a day day trading. I can't day trade every day because I've got things that invade the day. So I don't trade. There's 225 trading days in a year, but I don't get to trade them all. Sometimes I'm driving to Wyoming, or I'm driving to Maryland, or I'm doing something with my kids, or I'm doing something with Anne Marie, or I've got to take care of something for mom. But that's my goal. Once I get really, really good at that, I'll up it. But today, I told you what I trade. Right now, I've been trading 0 DTE calls and puts options. So 0 DTE options on the Qs off the 1 minute chart. Over the course of about 6 trades, I'd hit my $1,000. So actually, for the first time in a long time, said I hit my goal, closed my platform out, and went and did something else. And because the greed monster in me rears its ugly head, I felt it today. Well, you made 1,000 so easily. Let's go ahead and make 2 today. And I've done that. So I've made 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then I'm down $1,000. Eventually, the greed monster takes over and causes you to lose. And it's happened to me on several instances this year. One of the absolute requirements of being a good day trader is, do you have dominion over your emotions? And so I'm just gonna practice that every day now. As soon as I hit my goal, quit, just be done. It takes me 10 minutes or 2 hours, be done. Greed on, despite what Gordon Gekko said, greed is not good in all situations. So anyway, just beware of greed, especially in your day trading days. I know I have some on here. You guys comment on my videos. Just beware of the greed. If it was so easy, just take it and say thank you. Don't get greedy and look for another one. That's that pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered part of the saying. Now, it's not lost on me the irony of my first point is it's about the money. And the second point is beware of the greed. At first blush, they probably seem like they are incongruent. How about that? There's a big word for you. That means inconsistent. But they really aren't. You got to worry about money. You got to decide how much you have to sell something for how much profit, and how many can you do that for to make sufficient net income or sufficient profit for you to do what you need to do with your company. That's just the money. You just have to make enough sales at enough gross margin to cover expenses and leave you some gross profit or some net income or profit. To do that, you have to focus on the money. Where the other side is, the greed side comes in, was mainly a day trading conversation, but it fits in because you don't have to jack your prices up to market value, whether you're selling pipes or knives. You need to, or anything else, by the way. Once you've attained a price level that meets your financial needs, and hopefully it's below market, or the market will tear you up. But you don't have to pay what the market, you don't have to charge what the market will bear. You can hold your prices lower. That gets into some of those other goals you might have. I want to provide artisan pipes to more people, so I have to offer them at a slightly lower price so more people can have access to them, right? I want to offer the best made American made knives to more people, so I have to watch my prices so that more people have access to them. So you can have some morality goals, some social targets in there as well, and they are in fact can be met by you managing your pricing. But managing pricing is about the money. So I don't believe they're at odds with each other as goals at all. All right, guys, I'll end today's video by thanking you all for the comments from yesterday's video. Really, no one. I'm continually impressed by the maturity of our community, because I had some comments from left leaners, and they were well worded, not chopping me up. They were really well done. I really respect the comments. So I had one guy actually say I was tilting at windmills. I actually had to go look that up. I'd heard that phrase 100 times over the years, but I really had no idea what it meant. So kind of hate you for making me go look it up. But I did. I went and looked it up. I don't think I'm tilting at windmills, but I respect the comment. Now, you want me to tell you what it means, but I'm not going to. If you want to know, you got to go Google it. It's a 5-second Google. All right, guys, that's it. I'm down to the stubby. My drink's almost gone. And I've been at this long enough. You guys, long enough video. All my videos come out just about 30 minutes. So I guess I'm a lot like Mark that way. All right, guys, hope you had a great start to the week. TGIM. Hope you got a great week planned out in front of you. Got Easter week. Good Friday is Friday. Easter Sunday is Sunday. I know Potter Piper's probably got just about his busiest week ever coming up. So again, Potter Piper, congratulations to your own parishes. I realize it's one parish, but you got 2 churches, so you got your own place. You got your own place to live in. Julie looks like he's settling in. Yeah, I couldn't be happier for you. All right, guys. May God bless you and bless the lives of those around you. May he turn his ear to hear your prayers. May he make his face shine upon you and those around you. And may he bless your lives as he continues to bless mine. All right, guys, that's it. We'll talk again tomorrow on Tuesday, I think, depending on how picking up the wife goes. If I skip tomorrow, that's why. And that's it. Have a good night, everybody.